And here we go. It's the DJI Mini 3 Pro at the lake. If we can get out of this fog, we may be in the air already. Hard telling, but I think we are. We'll see. Certainly. Just got in the air. Nice sunny day. About, I'd say 11 o'clock or so in the morning. And we're going to take a flight at one of the local lakes. So we're headed south, due south now. And we're going to try to gain a little bit of altitude here. Temperature is really warm. Right now it's 101 at my place, but during the flight it was about 95 to 97 degrees where I was at. Not real windy, but the wind does pick up. Later, on my later flights during the day, it was blowing 20, 22 miles an hour. Here, I was at altitude, it was doing about 15 miles an hour. So, good enough to fly. We're on using the Mini 3 Pro again. No ND filters. Again, even though I have them. I have a few ND filters. I've got the DJI kit. I don't have the Freewell kit that most everybody's getting free on YouTube. If you're any kind of an influencer, Freewell sends you a bunch of them ND filters if you'll yap for them and tell everybody how good they are. Well, I don't do that stuff, so I bought my own. But the DJI kit only comes with 3 ND filters, so not very many, that's for sure. So we're flying due south today. It's a beautiful morning out. Like I said, it's very, very warm. It's going to get warm. It's getting warmer by the minute, so I'm trying to get this flight in. This is the latest update of the Mini 3 Pro that fixes the compass issues. And from what I could tell, the compass was working fine. So we'll take her out and we'll see how she flies. The heat doesn't seem to bother the Mini 3 Pro as long as you're moving. You get to hovering in one spot too long on days when it's close to 100 degrees. She doesn't like that a whole lot. But as long as you keep a little wind going through that big old cutout section in the front, you're going to be all right. So there's a nice beach down there on the right, a swimming beach. I don't see anybody at it today, though. Pretty hot. And it's a weekday, so not too many people there. I see one boat out there. I think that's the lifeguard platform that they have out there. So nobody getting any sand in their toes today. So we'll continue on with our flight. We're headed that way. Just a little bit of tilt on the horizon, and it's a DJI product, so I wouldn't expect any less. And it gets bad when you're flying at an angle, that's for sure. But the wind right now is flying. We're flying into the wind, and the wind is blowing in Thelma Lou's face, and she likes that. She likes to get the wind in her hair. So the horizon's not tilted that bad. A little bit to the right, the wind's coming in, but she doesn't mind that at all. She handles winds up to 22, 25 miles an hour without too much problem here. Here's a pretty high set of high power lines going over the lake here. I didn't really notice how high they were, but those lines at the top of that got to be over 300 feet. We're pretty close to it. So I'm at about 350 here, 375, somewhere in there. And we're going right down the main channel here. Takes a little bit of nerve to fly down the middle of these waterways, especially with something as expensive as the Mini 3 Pro. And as many issues as she's had since her release. But she flies real well. I've got a lot of confidence in her. Maybe not quite as much as I do in Peggy Sue, which is my Mini 2. And she got that name, as many of you know, from an old Buddy Holly song back in the day. And that the day the music died was back in 1959, and I was around for that event. So, in fact, I can remember that event. So anyway, this is Thelma Lou, and she was named after Barney Fife's girlfriend in the Andy Griffith Show back in the early 1960s. And she doesn't quite have the range that Peggy Sue has, or the signal strength, but she does all right. She doesn't get the range like some of the other people on Facebook that are flying these outrageous distances, you know. I mean, I have seen flights on YouTube of 19,000, 20,000 plus, 23,000 feet, you know, over the water, over the ocean, and I saw one at 19 or 20,000 feet over a lake with the Mini 3, and the only reason why the guy came back was he ran out of battery, or was running out of battery. Now this flight is with a Fly More Plus battery. So my advice is, if you've got the Mini 3 Pro, to go ahead and buy that Fly More kit. When you get it, there's not much in it. I mean, you got 2 batteries, a little charger, a cable, and I think a set of propellers, a set of props, and that's about it. I mean, it doesn't come with anything like the old Fly More kits used to come with, but as far as battery and extended fly time, it's worth it. There's no doubt about that. So we're going to cross this road here. Try to get across it pretty quick. We're in normal mode. We're shooting at 4K, 30 frames a second. It's at 11 o'clock. The sun is a little harsh, and we're not using any ND filters today. Maybe next time. I really don't care too much about motion blur. That only applies to me or my flying when I'm doing moving water and things like that. Something moving that I'm going to shoot in 60 frames a second, or 1080p, 120 frames a second, or something like that, where I could slow it down in post and make it look neat like everybody else's. But I don't do a lot of that. It looks like we're flying down a power line or a high line here. I think we're going to get ready. We're plenty far. I think we're going to get ready to come up here and do a return to home up here by this clear cut. We probably won't even get to the clear cut. We're right in here. I remember saying that's far enough. Had plenty of battery though, with the extended battery, but here we go. We'll stop her here. We'll see if we can get her and return to home. There she be. And we'll fly back and return home for a little while, and then I'll take over the sticks as I usually do. In fact, I may have the sticks right there. Remember. But I did turn to the right, and I know that you can't do that when it's in return to home. You can't yaw your Mini 3 Pro at all. You can raise the camera up and down, the gimbal, but that's about it. I wish they would get that firmware update. The Mini 2, she lets me turn sideways, fly back, or whatever I want to do on return to home, which makes for some really cool shots, stuff that you would normally miss. But no such luck with the Mini 3 Pro, so we're going to skedaddle back to home here. I think we're going to, I'm not sure, but I may be in sport mode now. I think I remember putting it in sport mode, but I don't remember at what point. So, but she's coming back pretty quick, so it looks like I may have already done that. Hard telling. Anyway, we're flying back now to our takeoff point. More boats on the lake today than there was the other day when I did some filming up the other channel there. I flew up the channel to the right of the screen. You can watch that on one of my previous videos. and it's the one with the ball fields in it and stuff like that. This is the main channel. And I think this lake, the deepest part of this lake is about 95 feet to 100 feet. There's an old riverbed running through it that runs over through the underneath the dam there. In fact, there's some kind of sewage pipes and stuff that run underneath it, I think. That's what I was told today. When I got done flying, one of the Parks and Rec guys came up to me and wanted to know if I smelled anything that smelled like a sewer, and I said no. He said, no, the lake doesn't stink any more than it usually does. He said they got a complaint or a call in about some odor around the lake, so I said, no, didn't smell anything different. So we are headed back post haste. And we're getting ready to get back over the water again. Like I said, well, flying over the water takes some getting used to, because if something happens, you're going to lose that fish, or it's going to be with the fish. But, you know, you'll definitely want to check your return to home settings. Make sure you don't have it set to land immediately and accidentally hit the return to home button, because you could be in a mess pretty quick, especially if you didn't have any altitude. So we are coming back right now. I see a few boats way out there. There'll be a guy coming by with a jet ski pretty quick. I almost turned around and followed him, but time was of the essence here, so I think you'll see him coming into the picture shortly. He's way up there towards the top of the screen right now. So anyway, we got the wind at our back now, so we're making good time. As you can tell, we're not wasting any time on this video. So there's the beach again on the left, and I still don't see anybody there. It's a beautiful beach. Been there. My son and his family were there the other day, swimming around. I don't so much get in the water at my age anymore, but especially with all that stuff they're talking about, all these brain-eating amoebas and stuff, that you get water in your nose, and no telling what's going to happen to you in a lot of the lakes nowadays. So here comes a boat now. This guy is booking pretty good. And I really need to turn around and follow one of these boats one of these days and get some real nice shots of them on the lake. They get to going that kind of speed when you're standing there on the shore. Boy, those waves really, you can see just the waves coming off there, how they spread out further back. They really crash against the shore and get your attention. Here comes another boater in this guy's wake a little bit, but he's going with it, so shouldn't be bad water at all. He's going at a pretty good clip too. And let's see, not this cove, but the one after that. I think you'll see the jet skier coming around. The guy he is flat booking, and I almost turned around and followed him too, but like I said, time was of the essence. Had some things to do this morning, so I thought I'd try to get a flight in real quick. We're still booking back pretty quick here. Got the wind at our backs. Another boat out there, and I don't know if he just moseying. Oh, that was a pontoon boat, I believe. It looked like it had about 80 people on it. They were having a good old time laughing. You could hear them halfway across the lake. So the temperature, like I said, was getting up in the mid-90s now, and it has just got hotter and hotter and hotter. Right now it's right at 100 degrees. So pretty hot, no rain, so it's a good time to spend a little time at the lake, whether you're boating or flying or fishing. I'd rather be fishing, to be honest with you, but I've got to find some time to do that. Life is just too busy right now. Anyway, we're coming back now, not too far from home. I did forget my landing pad this time. I forgot it the last two times. That's what happens when you get to be an ancient person. So you'll see I go ahead and, well, I'll wait and let you see it before I tell you. So let's see, we're stopped here now, getting our bearings. Okay, I know where I'm at. Here comes the guy on the jet ski. You see him at the top of the picture? Now watch how close he comes into this cove by us. And you can see there's obstacles. Now he's not far, he's 20 feet off the shore there. When you get up here, you'll see the stuff underneath the water that I don't think he saw. See how close he's hugging that? There's all kinds of rocks and stumps and stuff like that he was just very, very close to. You can see from his wake. He doesn't know, I don't think he knows how close he was to some of that underwater stuff that I can see that he probably can't. But he came very, very close to it, that's for sure. Anyway, here we come. We got her spotted now, and you'll see me and the better half standing there. And when I bring it in here, you'll see I realized then, I said, you know what? I don't have my takeoff mat. And I don't know why I walk out the door without that thing more times than I care to admit. And the Mini 3 Pro, she just lands on her belly basically, so you really don't see that glitch right there. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but we're carrying on. Let's see. I may be able to correct that in post. I don't know. Coming in now. There's the better half standing there. Like I said, you got to have something to land this thing on, or hand catcher. I don't hand catch any drones. I was hand catching my Phantom 3 Advanced one time, and I think I still have the scar from that. Big blades. Don't want to do that. So there's my hard case, and it's too slick, as you'll find out pretty quick. or I will find out pretty quick here that once she starts to sit down on it, the torque and everything just is not good for slick hard cases. And you'll see what happens. Anyway, everybody stay safe out there. Thanks for watching my video. I just post these for my family and friends. So fly safe if you fly. Drive safe if you drive. Try to stay safe and treat each other like you want to be treated. The golden rule still is a pretty good rule to follow, that's for sure. Let's see if we can slide off this case real quick. Coming down. Here we go. Oh, on the case? Nope, off the case. Thanks, guys.